to Your Girl World. In this episode, we are shocked by the pollution on Chilli Beach and do our bit to help with cleanup. But the local refuge centre is just as bad.
We had a great time actually in the, what's it called, the Roadhouse?
Hahn River Roadhouse.
Yeah, Hahn River Roadhouse. It was really nice, and the campsite there is really worth staying at. It's really friendly. Everyone was really happy and happy to chat.
There's an old guy that lives there with an old truck. I've forgotten his name, he didn't tell me his name, but he gets the kangaroos down. No, the wallabies, aren't they?
Yeah, they're wallabies.
Agile wallabies.
Very good. Yeah, agile wallabies, and they come down and feed. And so he puts out the feed out in little troughs, and they come down and feed. And they're really lovely. But there's lots of animals to play with, and there was lots of kids playing there, and they were having a great time, weren't they? With water pistols and running around.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was only an overnight stop, and there wasn't, apart from fishing in the river or swimming in the river.
It's so funny. I'm going to so enjoy editing that video.
So my phone sort of works, but no longer, you can't turn Wi-Fi on. It turns the volume down on its own, and the camera doesn't work. Apart from that, it's fine.
And you still have all your toes.
Exactly, yeah. More importantly, yeah.
So that was the best bit.
And we just filled up with, we're heading north now to, not sure exactly where we're going to stay, whether we're going to stay in the national park or there's an Archer River Roadhouse, not sure. But we just filled up with fuel, and we've got a 20 litre spare can, so we're good for a bit. There's not, I don't think there's not much to see until you get a bit further up. So we'll play it by ear as to whether we stop for a night at one of these places or we carry on.
I think it depends on really how bad the roads are going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, we could do a night. You know, it'd be nice
how
to
long we can go for.
It'd be nice to do a night in the bush with no one around. That would be nice, because other issue was for some reason the Anderson plug that's on the camper trailer. When we arrived here, the Anderson plug had just gone and the two wires were stuck out. So I don't know what happened to that, whether it came out of the socket when it was pushed right in, or whether it came out of the socket and then dragged along the road and came off. So we didn't have any battery, so we had to take electric hookup last night, but batteries are at 100%. I've managed to do a bush fix on the Anderson plug because no one has one.
Luckily you had a spare case, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't use the case in there, no.
Oh, didn't you?
No.
Okay.
So, but we'll stop at the next road. There's a town, Musgrove. I think Musgrave. We're going to go through Musgrave in about half an hour, and we'll see whether we can get one. I can do a proper fix, but I don't know whether it's taped in. And I used a couple of cable ties, so hopefully it'll work. But it was 100%, and the solar's still working as we're driving along, so I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But I actually had two spare Anderson plugs, but they were used, and I thought it might be easy to open up the back of the connector and re-crimp it, but it isn't. So pack one of those in your spare kit.
Yeah, make sure you have lots of little spares of.
I've got lots of spares, but not of that. There's a guy we got talking to the camp next to us, or has a caravan, and he said he'd lost two. So it's quite, in his trip he's been up to the tip, so it's obviously quite a common thing. So whether you should cable tie them together when you're travelling, I'm not sure. But now I've cable tied it to the, as well as taping it into the plug, I've cable tied it to the camper trailer plug cable. So if it does come out, it can't fall to the floor.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
And there's no drain on it now either.
No.
So hopefully that'll fix it.
So you'll see us in our next spot.
so concentrated on trying to drive in a straight line.
So we just noticed this, we just come over a bump and there's a crack appeared. We noticed that when the truck went past, it chucked up a load of stone. And if we go outside, you'll see that there's a massive nasty crack all the way from the top and it goes all the way along. So we're going to have to glue it for now because there's nowhere to get the window replaced and it's not probably worth it anyway at the moment until we get home. And so we'll glue it and hopefully keep a check on it, make sure it doesn't carry on cracking.
We kick back and relax after a long dusty journey to watch the sunset and bat formation swirling around in the sky. There were thousands of them darting back and forth, and like all great dancing performances, they disappeared into the wings and out of sight.
How fantastic to lay in bed and you can look out the windows and see this fantastic view. Here you can literally 2 steps. There you're into. Beautiful, right? Chilli Beaches. It's wonderful. Or is it? Yep, we have crocodiles, but that's not the biggest issue. Our biggest issue on this beach is this. Of plastic just littered all around. Now, I collected a whole bag of it yesterday, and I got my bag with me today and I'm going to come collect some more. The Aboriginal people said that they do a beach clean-up every year on Australia Day. It is strewn along, all the way along the beach. It is disgusting. But there's things like this. This is off a cool box. This has all been washed up. It's not necessarily all to do with the residents. No, I can't believe it's... I'm sure we have some part in it somewhere. But most of this has been washed up. And it's been here years. I mean, this stuff's been here a long time. On the notice board, there are actually signs saying that this is an issue. Now, someone's actually had a bite out of this. So, and we've noticed there are lots of these little white bottles everywhere, and these are bleach bottles because some of them have the labels on them, and they've all been bitten at some point. I will collect all this up in a minute. More cleaning products. Now, this is a national park, so therefore it's down to their responsibility to clean it. Or to at least organise for people to clean it. They don't have to do it themselves. They can organise parties in to actually clean this rubbish. And it's amazing how much
it'll accumulate for a year, but also the damage it will cause in that year. Now some of this stuff is actually embedded into the roots of the trees and stuff, so this stuff has been in there for a long time. This isn't just a year. Now this is just one little stretch. There is far more of it all the way along. And so I know there's another couple who've collected a lot of rubbish already, and they've already collected several bags. And we've collected at least 4 bags and heaps of more stuff. Our issue is we can't actually take it anywhere as such, because we're strapped for space at the best of times. See, look, another bottle, bite marks. So something's trying to eat this. So it's either the crocodiles are trying to eat it or the fish. If fish are trying to eat it, or more than likely have eaten some of it, see? Then you've got to wonder whether you're eating that fish, what you're ingesting. Because these are bleach bottles, but more importantly, they're plastic. And plastic is really harmful for you as a person as well as it is for the environment. There are so many statistics of what plastic does to your body, which is why they changed the formula of what we can have in plastic for babies' bottles, because they were causing so many hormonal problems. But this is all the way along. And if they cleaned up in Australia Day, this is 7 months worth. I know we have an issue with plastic. Or it's not just plastic, this is rubbish in general, because they've been in glass bottles and there's a big metal cans being blushed up. The difference is that these things float. So if you think about all this rubbish that's here, that's floated, think about how much is actually sunk to the bottom of the ocean. That's the scary bit.
Plastic is made from petroleum. You wouldn't want to ingest it, but 14 million tons of it ends up in our oceans every year. Marine animals ingest the microplastics accidentally, thinking it's food. There are several carcinogenic chemicals used in the production of plastic materials. It's used to coat products to resist heat, oil, stains, grease and water. The biggest concern with these coatings, they don't break down in the environment. They move through the soil and contaminate drinking water sources and cause a build-up in the fish and wildlife. This toxic material interferes with the body's endocrine system, causing developmental issues, diabetes, reproductive disorders, neurological impairments and learning disabilities. It's also reported it increased cholesterol levels, changes in liver enzymes, kidney and testicular cancer, high blood pressure and preeclampsia in pregnant women, and autoimmune disorders in both humans and wildlife. And sadly, the list goes on. If you're interested in how plastic affects your health, check out the links below. It's a small eye-opener and it will leave you pondering. Plastics is more than just a waste problem.
This is quite disheartening, because even though I have cleaned up this little bit here, I filled my bag up, but there's so much more to go. There's all this here. And I'm just running out of bags. I really don't have them, and the shops are 70 kilometers away. And we have to move on. And it's really hard. I don't really want to leave it like this. If you're staying in Chilli Beach, bring some extra plastic bin liners. Don't bring those because they're rubbish. Pardon the pun. But black bin liners, do your bit. Put it in the bin and take it. Put it by the toilets. Get the national park to remove them. There is actually a dump site.
So we're at the dump site. This is where all the rubbish gets sent to. So basically, and this is quite heartbreaking and sad, it's all just made a big hole and then it's dumped in it. And you can see, if you look into the dirt over there, where they've just thrown soil right over the top of it, and then they're just waiting for it all just to decompose eventually sometime in 200 odd years later, if not more. I thought, being this is 2022, that we've gone past this situation and we're actually sorting our waste better than this, but clearly not. Clearly we're still just dumping our waste and just burying it and hoping no one will notice. And it seems to be that if we hide our heads in the sand and don't realize and pretend we don't see it, then it's okay. But this is not okay, because all this crap is leaching into our land. It is going to affect the environment at some point in some time, and it's all going to affect us. It doesn't affect the animals that'll dig it up and try eating it, or if we decide to farm on this land, or if we try to grow things on this land. All this plastic waste, and it's not just plastic, there's metal, there's glass bottles that don't need to be here, and yet it could be taken away in trucks and disposed of properly and more environmentally, but yet we've decided it's too hard, it's too easy, it's much easier to dig a hole and just bury it. Queensland, you've got to do better. And I'm not saying that New South Wales are any better, because I know that they don't do the recycling properly either. But this is shocking. This is shocking. This is for a town of only 10 people. Imagine what a big suburb is going to be like. The thing though is that they happily want you to recycle your cans and stuff, because they get the 10 cents back. So whoever goes in and does this will get their money back for this. We'll separate it. We'll make money on the metal over there. So therefore we'll try and deal with that in a more economical way, but yet just general waste goes in the ground. I've just driven up to Portland Roads, and it was named Portland because of a place in the UK. Roads because it's roadhouse, and that's considered a safe haven to stay. It's quite a nice little village. Apparently there's only 8 to 10 people ever living in it permanently, depending on the time of the year, that is. They're either retired, or they work from home, or they're out on the, I'm assuming out on the water. Pretty, isn't it?
Somebody cleans up the waste here.
Yeah, the beaches are far better here. They're beautiful. They actually care about their little village. Town. Can't be a town actually, can it? 'Cause it doesn't have a post office.
Well, actually, the cafe
Place. Was it?
that sign saying post collection centre or something.
Oh, so yeah, there you go. That is a town then. Yeah, so it's really pretty. It's quite interesting, and they've got fruit trees around them. They're interesting actually, some of these fruits. It's a shame actually they don't have names on them. We don't know what this is. Well, I don't know whether this is the custard apple, but I know that in the cafe they had papaya and soursop trees, as well as a custard apple tree.
Apparently this is what's left of a gold stamping machine, which arrived here too late for the gold rush. Not sure where it came from, probably the UK or Sydney or somewhere, or Melbourne. And it was, I guess that's just one small part of it. It was steam driven, and it was used to break down the ore into smaller sections. But it didn't get used because it was arrived too late.
Next time on You'll Go Wild, we start our journey on the old telegraph track. for watching. Like, subscribe and share.